Hey, welcome to Estevan TV. I'm at pushgapradio.com.
Pushgapradio.com. Bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. Pushgapradio.com. It's Dallas, baby.
With all of that going on, what in the hell is happening to the middle class here in America, Mine? What's killing the middle class? When the wealthy 1% grows, the middle class begins to shrink and suffer significantly. The middle class has been on a decline since 1970, according to data from the Pew Research. The share of adults who live in a middle class household dropped from 61% in 1971 to 50% in 2021. Now, a lot of people are saying that they make more money than they ever made, but they more broke than they've ever been. Mm-hmm. Everything is so high with rent skyrocketing, and you got people living out here on the streets in tent cities and whatnot, yet you sending money to Ukraine and spending money on the migrants, billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the middle class who built this place, because the middle class is the buffer between the rich and the poor.
Right.
Okay.
Right. The middle class are the ones that don't have to use welfare or get any government assistance.
Don't get any assistance.
But yet they are buying and paying into for the richer. So basically, with the middle class going away, it's going to be either you're rich or you're poor, because the only ones that's actually been making money the last few years are the rich. So the rich are definitely getting richer, and the poor is definitely getting poorer, except for now they're being joined by the middle class, because the deflation in the middle class income has gone down $33,000 just in 2023 alone. Yeah. So that just lets you know that, it's horrible, because everything is going up except the income.
Except your income. And we'll delve a little bit into why the auto workers are out here striking right now. But it's coming down to two classes: the oppressor and the oppressed, the have and the have-nots, the rich and the poor. And here's the different classes in America. The lower class is 50% of the poor population, which holds less than 2% of the wealth. People in the lower class get the most help from the government, like you stated. Free health care, food stamps, and vouchers. The government literally allocates billions of dollars each year just to assist low-income families, and it's understandable because low-income families need the most help. Upper class is 10% of the population, which holds 76 to 87% of all the wealth. This is the rich. Rich people have an investment mentality. They invest their money into assets like real estate, stocks, and businesses, which generate them passive income. To be considered middle class, 40% of the population, which holds 11 to 23% of the wealth. The middle class is the class that works the hardest, pays the most in taxes, and receives the least amount of help, because you don't make enough money to live, but you make too much to qualify for benefits.
Exactly. Okay. You're caught right there in the middle.
So maybe that's why they call them middle class.
Right. And if you're wondering whether or not you are in that middle class, in 2023, they estimate that the annual income is between $38,133 and $114,400. So if you make between that range, then you are considered middle class.
Now, they say the middle class spends most of its money on liabilities. The more money they make, the more they spend. And it shows that half of Americans making $100,000 per year today are living paycheck to paycheck, because $100,000 used to be a lot of money back in the gap.
But it's not now.
But they spend so much on liabilities because they want to look like and feel like the rich. Prior to the year of 1971, the share of the middle class Americans has been consistently shrinking. And between 1970 and 1921, the share of U.S. aggregate income earned by the middle class shrunk from 62% to 72%. Now, here's a guy explaining to you the shocking truth about the middle class.
So really the thing we need to define here is what is poor, right?
Yeah,
everyone. Almost everyone living below your potential, you're probably poor. You're not rich, you're not prosperous, you're poor, which is the middle class of the planet. I'm not talking about poverty. You know, that guy's not poor. He's out of choices. He's got to beg. The poor, the middle class, the described poor, middle class. Nice name to keep everybody civil.
Well,
and the Americans are like, we can't do the class thing. If we do it, we got to get that middle class
right
to feel good about themselves.
So they give them the cars and the over-leveraged homes, and
Yeah,
they make
exactly.
them feel like they're rich, but they're not.
Yeah, like let's give them homes, let's give them cars, let's indebt them, give them a good job, give them a good office, you know, big watches, and we got slaves. But they feel good about it because they're better off than some, you know, starving kid in Ethiopia.
PushGapRadio.com, bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. PushGapRadio.com. It's Dallas, baby.